Craftin' buddies. It's Lori, late night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin'. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. I'm supposed to say that regularly, I guess. And I'm coming to you on Monday, December 8th at 11:59 p.m. Welcome, welcome. Let me just get my devices set up here. All right, I think we are good to go. So, welcome. I have been ready for a little bit actually, but you know, sometimes a squirrel runs through the room and then I lose track of what time it is to actually go live. So, here we are. Let me see if I can straighten out just a little bit. We'll see if that's the way I need to go. Yes, that was the way I needed to go. So let's get rid of the few announcements quick so that once people start joining in that are with me frequently, they don't have to listen to all of the announcements that they hear every night. So I have a new website online store link. So the new link is latenightLori.stampinup.net. You will find me there instead of my old moniker was LoriMacari.stampinup.net. Macari is sometimes hard to spell, even for me. So, is it two C's? Is it two R's? It is two C's and one R. So, next, mini catalog. I can only show you the cover. Stampin' Up! Will not allow me to show you the inside until it goes live, which is January 6th. So if you want to have a sneak peek before it's available to the general public, you need to join my team because then you can even order from it. So there's a lot of fun stuff in here. Okay. Cyber Monday is done on Tuesday, December 9th. This is where you can save on prepaid paper pumpkin subscriptions. Your December kit is an automatic with this sale. So if you already have a subscription and if you do not want multiple shipments coming or multiple kits coming, you need to go into your existing Paper Pumpkin account, reduce your count or suspend it for December so that you don't get more kits than you want for the month. Product of the month. This is a new program Stampin' Up! Has started this month. It's brand new with a qualifying order, which is $75 or more before tax and shipping. You can have the option of picking up this beautiful set of designer series paper. Every month, the exclusive product will be different. If there are leftovers in any given month, they will be offered in future months at the same price. But you do need that qualifying purchase of $75. You will, at least for now, have a little progress bar on your shopping cart screen so you can see how close you're getting to being able to pick this up. So this will just be an additional $5 if you want to pick it up. Let's say you didn't want the December paper. It didn't trip your trigger or tickle your fancy or whatever. Come January, you decide, oh, I really did kind of like that. If there is still this paper left, you can place your qualifying order and you can add this to your cart for that $5. If you also want the January product of the month, you need to make a separate qualifying order because when you place an order, it will only allow you to pick one for each month. Okay, that's the way I understand it. It's a limit of one per person per monthly product, if that makes sense. Hello, Stacy McCatitude Crafters. Welcome back. Glad to have you back. So I am just getting started, almost through some of my announcements, and then we'll get down to business. Stampin' Up! Is doing this virtual card retreat. This is an online. You'll get exclusive access to the Facebook group for this. It will be 2 full days of advanced cards, Basically, they're not going to be simple, quick and easy cards. They will be for those that are, it's not for the faint of heart. All right. We did a virtual album retreat earlier this year, and it comes with all of the paper, all of the die cuts, all of the embellishments, all of the things, except your extras like some of your snips, your adhesives, some of those things. But we'll get a list of the extra things that we need. Okay, you can start ordering that on Wednesday, December 10th. It is $165, but you also get the 2 days of training. You will have access to that long after the event has concluded because it will be an on-demand sort of thing. And it's going to be 15 cards, and they will be more advanced projects, all right? Stampin' Up! Will be leading this, so they'll have their product designers and the people in the know of how it came about, teaching the class and giving us tips and tricks and all of that. We had a couple of new kits released this month. Every month we have at least 2. January, I believe, we'll have 3 again. So if you like things that are all in the box, ready to go, you open it, you can take it on a plane with you and know that when you get to where you need to be, you're going to have everything that you need, including the adhesives, ink, stamps, all of that. The kits are the way to go. You can kind of see my little note here. It used to say fussy cussing. Last night, when I was done making this card here, I asked those that were still on board what they wanted to do tonight. I was considering a memory keeping layout. And Juju, welcome. Juju is the one that asked for fussy cussing. So I just erased my note, Juju. So this is from the Weekend Adventures. This is the sticker sheet. So we're going to use some of this. I got prepared ahead of time some photo place cards. I just made 2 4x6. I made 2 4x4, and I made like 6 3x3. I have no idea what I'm going to, do. And then I have somewhere, this die set. I was unloading some stuff, or putting stuff away from a retreat that I did a couple of weeks ago. Just now getting to it. And I had this set in, my set of projects to do. This is on the last chance list. The stamp set is no longer available. It's gone. So it is long since retired. These dies are still available, however. The regular price on them was $27. They're now only $13.50. These numbers are kind of timeless. Okay. This is a tassel, like for banners. You know, you could use this as a little banner piece and make a little tassel on it. These are little mini banners. I'm not sure. Those must be leaves for the flowers. There's a couple of flowers here. And then there's a couple of dots like for punctuation, like between your numbers, that sort of thing. So I cut out 2 of these pieces because they kind of look like pockets to me. And that's all I did with that set. So I'm going to keep that close by. But I don't know that we'll use it anymore. I haven't really decided how we're going to lay things out. I just have a couple of ideas in my head, so we'll see. But we will be using the same paper from last night. What's the size of those numbers? When we cut them out, let me grab one. They are, I don't know if you can see at the bottom of this. So they're 3/4 of an inch by 1 1/4. Okay. And they're all pretty much the same size. So 3/4 of an inch for the 2, the 5. Yeah, they're all basically the same width and height. Okay, so we'll go, so it actually looks like I'm not doing random numbers. So 3/4 of an inch by 1 1/4. So pretty good size. All right, so I cut out ahead of time 2024 and 2025, just because I think I'm gonna do one page 2024 and one page 2025. All right, I thought both of these papers here would be kind of dark to be my full page base. So I am using the third design that's in the package that has these little pine trees. Pine trees and like little abstract kind of trees. It almost looks like an arrow with lots of little quills to it. But I'm going to use these for my base. Now I also pulled out 2 pieces of willow white. I'm probably not going to need these though, because if I put this in an album, if I use the whole sheets of these, I'm not going to need the willow white. So I'm just going to use these as kind of carrier sheets. Okay. And I thought what we could do is maybe fussy cut the shoes. Maybe fussy cut the compass will be easy. I could actually find a punch to do that probably. But I thought the shoes would be fun, the boot prints. And we're just going to start laying things out and see what kind of mix and match things we can do. I like the one in the back, this one. And the back sides too. This particular pack, we only got 3 designs, but we got 4 sheets of each. Usually we get 6 two-sided designs and we get 2 of each. It is 2025 now, Juju. But I'm going to do last year too. You probably already picked up on that though. It was not a mistake. It was intentional, surprisingly enough. And this one has little acorns on the back of it. So I didn't really like that for the theme that I had in mind. And this one, the background is stripes. So we might use some of this. We'll see. All right, so let's get this kind of out of the way. And then, at least I know you're listening, right? I don't know where I want to put these. I don't want to lose these numbers. I'm just going to set them up here a little bit out of the way. Whoops. All right. And then I brought in a couple of other things. I have some pieces that I didn't put together from this Fall for Twall. This is a paper pumpkin kit, but it's got some really nice leaves in here, and it's got a nice tree. And I thought that might coordinate with this. It's got some of the similar colors. And I ink blended these and die cut these last night. And unfortunately I used a set that is now gone, Encircled in Nature. That's where those were from. And I didn't realize it until it was really close to going live and I wasn't going to turn back then. I also have some of these die cut pieces from the designer series paper that was in that 12 days of Advent, or 12 days of crafting Advent calendar. And that is still available. That Advent calendar, it is on the last chance list because it's seasonal. So once it's gone, it's retired. It's not coming back. But anybody who does order that from me before the end of the year, I will gift you the recipes from Stampin' Up. So there's 12 projects that they give the recipes for. They don't give all the measurements, but at least you know all of the products that were used for each of their samples, and you can see a picture of what their sample was. And then I also have listed on my instructions the dates that I did YouTube videos for each of the projects that we cased or copy and shared everything. So we might use these, we'll see, just because the colors are good. This I'm probably not going to use, but it was sitting on my table. And we also have this autumn trees. Now this might be on the last chance list too. I don't know. Let's see. Oops, I spelled autumn wrong. It is. So this is on the last chance list because it's in our current mini catalog. So that's going to go too. And I thought we might cut out, stamp and cut out a tree to put on here. So we'll see. But these have some nice papers in here too. We'll just have to see what kind of coordinates. And I like this stripe also. This side has foxes on it, and I like the stripe better. But there's some other nice patterns on here too. So we'll see where it goes. Hope you guys are feeling creative. We'll do a little mix and matching. And then we might use that. That might be a little foo-foo-ish, but we could use the plaid for sure on some pieces. So I'll have those handy also. And then I was going through some of my old stuff too, and I found these old wood elements. And they're not very thick, but they might be nice. Couple little leafy things on here if I can get the baggie open. Oh, let me bring this tray over. I brought that over for a purpose. All right, so these are basically like white on one side and then natural on the other. And there's a couple little leaf images here, or even like this one, that I thought we might be able to use on here. But then when I'm done with these, I thought I might give the rest of them away. So if you are watching live or on the replay, and if by the end of the day, December 10th, you are interested in my leftover pieces, leave a comment, pick me, pick me, pick me. And I will put those interested people on my wheel of names, and I'll have my computer draw a name, and I will gift my leftovers to whoever gets picked of those who are interested. All right, so there's lots to choose from there. So there's a lot left. So I think maybe I'll pick out this one and this one, maybe 3 of them. And we'll see. We'll see if we use them. All right. I'll try to remember to bring those out later. Don't want to forget about those. So let's go ahead and start laying things out. Oh, and I pulled out an envelope too, and a tree from this kit. So I'm just doing some mix and match stuff here, which is a nice thing about all of our colors, is you can go from one to another and the colors will coordinate. This is the Road to Christmas kit. I don't know if this is available yet either. It was out of stock. It's currently out of stock, but it will be coming back. I just don't have a date on that. So I'm using an envelope. I thought we would fussy cuss around those trees and maybe use another tree to just make some depth on there. So let's see what we can come up with. Let's first trim this down so I can get a little row of trees. And this is an envelope that's got some nice color inside, but this color's not going to coordinate with what we're making. So I'm just going to trim this all down. And we'll save what I don't need. So I'm just trimming off the smallest amount off the edge just to get rid of the fold. And that way we can open this up. And then I've also got a nice straight edge there. I'm gonna trim off the bottom of these trees. Ooh, that was really ragged. I just changed my blade the other day too. So it must be the paper because this is thinner envelope paper. Oops. And then I'm just gonna trim here. There, that cut better. It's probably sitting in there crooked. And then this piece, you know, we can do something with this white piece. But this piece I can certainly do something with that too. So I'll just put that back in that kit. All right. So let's go ahead and just start doing some fussy cutting around here. Is this going to be enough fussy cussing, Juju? Thank God. Thank God I'm fussy cussing. I know, it's riveting to watch, isn't it? And you can see I'm just kind of going a little back and forth and maybe not even really following the pattern closely. But when you kind of, with these kind of designs, when you just kind of go back and forth a little bit, it looks like you're following the ridges, and it's close enough for most people to see that, oh yeah, they fussy cut it. So how was everybody's Monday? No, I didn't throw away the scraps. That's what you were saying to thank God for? Yeah, I learned from yesterday, even if I do, I can't say that I am. I don't want to be the cause of any triggers. And I'm not sure if MacMan was still up when I first went live or not. We didn't really accomplish anything today, but it's like we were busy all day. We didn't go anywhere. Didn't complete any major projects or anything. Although I did buy a new bed. We were looking at one a week or so ago. Maybe it was last week, Monday even. We've been out running errands, and I'm like, we really need to get a new bed. It's time. And he snores really bad. Sorry, MacMan, I'm tattling on you if you're listening. And I want to, oh, that would make a nice little stencil. Little mask there to just make some trees in the background maybe, huh? We'll hang on to that. So was this the scrap that you're accusing me of being perfectly good that I might throw away? I'm going to hang on to it. I'm going to hang on to every little speck. And someday when you get an envelope from me and there's just all these itty bitty little pieces of stuff, you can decide if they should be like these. I'll send you a bunch of those and you can decide whether they're viable. You're the nurse. I gave up my license, so my EMT license has lapsed. So you can decide if they're viable. I am no longer qualified to make those decisions. And in fact, I think I might put these right on your list, right on your stack of stuff right now. There. Along with a couple of pieces of ribbon scraps. All right. Hello, Bon Bon. That could be fun. All right, so let's get our pieces of Willow White out here. And then these pieces from the Weekend Adventure. And what I wanted to do, because this is a lot of, and let me move these over, I guess. This is a lot, to me, this is a lot of pattern, right? So even though it's not, even though it's not a coordinating color, I thought the soft seafoam might work. And I think all I did was I took a piece of cardstock and I just trimmed it from corner to corner, but I think those are way too big. So I'm going to make them smaller. It was kind of challenging anyway because it's too long for my trimmer. So let's trim these down. And then I think what I would like to do is maybe do some early espresso or pecan pie and put that through my embossing folder for the plaid so that we can get some texture on here too and make it look naturey. So let's just trim this down. And maybe if I just take this on the angle to the 4-inch. Of course, I need to get that straight, I guess. We'll see if this works. It might not work. I'm just going to nestle these together so they can be kind of close. I'm just winging it because I don't like to measure if I don't have to. All right, so we could do something like that there and this here. And then if we get the early espresso, which I brought over here. It's here somewhere. Or, there's also this piece. Do you think that would be too busy? Or I could make some mats out of this. Maybe I'll do mats out of that. So do you think mats out of this or embossed? I don't know that we'll be able to see a whole lot if I emboss it. You do mats? All right, good idea. And then we can do some corners with this maybe and emboss those. That might work. Because I do like the texture on there. So let's cut this down. I've got 4 by 4, so let's do 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And that will take care of these. Okay. And I was gonna look in my catalog for just some scrapbook layouts, but I thought, let's just wing it. So the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my early espresso, and I'm just gonna get rid of these white core edges. I know you gals might use sponges or brushes to do that on yours, but that kind of works for me. And the white edge probably wouldn't show a whole lot, but if it shows at all, I'm not gonna like it, so. Okay, those are done. And then I've got these 3x3s. So if I do, let me do a 3.5 by 3.5 and see if that looks like it's too much frame. Do you think that's too much frame compared to these? Or is that okay? I can always make them smaller, but I can't make them bigger. That looks okay. All right, so I'll do another 3.5 by 3.5. And I'll pull out pictures later. I need to go through some pictures. I know they've, my husband's daughter has pictures of them hiking with my granddaughter, so we'll do some of that. And then I think I want to do these with different mats. I don't want them all to look exactly the same. Oh, thank you. What did I do with my ink? I probably would have, so thank you, Stacy, for reminding me. I would notice probably after I glued them on, and I'd be like, oh. I'm just glad I looked up in time. Oops. There was a little wetness on there, but that's just a placeholder, so it'll be fine. This one has some too. You might not even be able to see it, but I got a little ink edges on there from when I laid those pieces down, but these are just placeholders anyway, so it'll be fine. All right, so those can go there somewhere. And these are more, we'll decide what to do with those later. So let's trim this down a little bit. Let's see. If we go, I'll just cut these down to 5.5. And then it'll be easier for me to cut these angled pieces now. And I'll trim these down in a minute. I just want to get these lined up first, and then I can make them smaller. I think that's close. Okay, we're gonna go up from here, I guess. All right, those are pretty close. So let's go ahead and trim these down. And I'm actually going to trim them down from the straight edge. We'll go down maybe an inch. Let's see how that looks. That might be enough. Let's get this out of the way for a minute. This will go here. So we could put this up here in that corner. And this one, let me scooch this over a little bit maybe. And then this one down in that corner. What do you think? I am not going to need those white willow pieces for sure. Is the round white coat as well? If so, ink the... No, this is dyed all the way through. So there's no white core in our cardstock. Just the designer series paper and the two-tone. Because this is early espresso. So all of our regular cardstocks are dyed through solid. Our two-tone cardstock and our designer series papers are actually printed, so the color goes onto them, and that's why they're white core. All right, so do these corners look okay? Because if they do, I'm going to emboss them with the plaid. Thank you for watching out for me though, Stacy, because I certainly could have missed it. Do those look okay? Okay. And I am going to die cut these so that the plaid goes up and down. And because this embossing folder is so large, I can get these both done in one pass. All right, so let's bring Bossy Bessie over. We'll get rid of the shim. We'll get rid of the plate. And we will just get the embossing plate. Stacy, what kind of crafting do you do? I don't remember if I asked you last time you popped in. So we could actually emboss some photo mats for these other ones too. We'll have to lay them out and see what we need. And I'm going to get rid of the willow white because I don't really need it. And it's just kind of getting things caught up here. Now we could put some of these trees on a piece too. Maybe we should make one of these photo mats circles. Let's see what I have here. Spotlight on Nature would be good. Let's see if Spotlight on Nature is still available. Spotlight on Nature dies are still available. Most everything knitting, so primarily crochet, paper craft, mixed media, then you'll try anything once. Nice. So were you Somebody the other day mentioned quilling, and I don't remember if that was you or if maybe that was one of the Bonnies. I don't remember. I do crochet. I used to know how to knit in my brain somewhere. I know how to knit, but I liked crochet better, so I never did a whole lot with it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and attach these, because even if we wanted to cut them down a little bit, we could still make them shorter and the lines would still be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these together. Oh, so you do everything except knitting. There you go. I just need to read more thoroughly, not skim. I have even done chain stitch for one of my cards. I actually gave it away. I mailed it off to somebody this last week, actually, because we were doing a happy mail chain. A bunch of demonstrators. So since it was a chain, I sent her that card that had the chain on it. That was kind of cool. Okay. What's Kellyanne's like YouTube handle? Did it say Kellyanne in there? One of these days I'm going to try some quilling because I think it looks really cool. And if your pieces of paper are narrow enough, it could certainly work in some of our projects. Juju, do you ever do any quilling for your journals? So I like the multi-purpose glue because you can see I'm kind of shifting this a little bit where it wasn't quite to the edge. No quilling for you. So then it would be pretty hilarious if I just sent you a bunch of little very narrow strips of paper for your next quilling project. All right, so that'll go down there. All right, so let's see if we did... I love these trees. This is a set that, oh, I still have those trees on a block. This is a set that is now retired, and I apologize for that, but I really like it. So let's do, where did my dice go? Right here in front of my face. I wonder, we could do this one. We could do that one. And then we can stamp the trees right on there. We'll do early espresso on that too. I don't know if you would call it evil, maybe just mischievous. I try to be a good person. I should have brought in my piercing mat because sometimes that makes a difference when we're using the photopolymer stamps. But that turned out good. That turned out quite good. So I wonder, let's just clean this off. Those chamois work so nice, don't they? All right, so oh, what do you think about that? Does that work from yesterday or does that look silly? Of course, we don't know until I start getting it laid out on the page, right? All my little bits out of that die. All right. Spotlight on nature. I guess that can go away now. We might use it again, but we might not. I wonder if those would work there. Probably not. The 20 works, but the 2024 then, or the 24 part is lost. I'll have to put something else there. I don't like that. All right, let's see. So we could do something like this. All right. I don't know what we're going to do, ladies. I want some other pieces on here. So, and I need some color in here. So let's go to the sticker sheet. And maybe use these long pieces, because it's got some of the Cajun Craze in there. It's just lighter, so that would be a tint. Take to the trails and travel on foot. That would be a good one. I like that one. Let's cut that out. And then I thought with these, I would make them pockets. I would make them raised to have like pieces be able to go in and out. And then when I have my page protectors, I will make a slice in my page protector so that we can access them without having to take the page out of the protector. Stacy, I don't know if I asked you anything or not. I don't remember. All right, so let's find... Oh, there's some fun banners here too, but I like this one. It's time for an adventure, exciting day. Wander, wonder, repeat. I like that too. These here that I'm cutting out, this is a sticker sheet. Yeah, it does seem like it takes a long time when you're in a hurry for it to reboot. All right, so we could do something like that. How about this one? Time is precious, waste it wisely. And explore looks kind of fun. Well, it's a struggle today to fussy cut a straight line, apparently. Who knew? All right, so we can do, so that'll go up kind of like that. We can do explore. Of course, you know, I could cut each of these letters out too and make them go wonky. Let's see where. I like these sticker sheets because they just give you some really cute elements. So we could even do something like that. Or, oh, I already cut those, so that won't work. We could put that under there and trim it off. That might be kind of fun. Let me cut this other one, because if I do one side, I have to have it symmetrical. Oh, and I like this banner too that says life is better outdoors. There are so many things on here that I like that we're probably gonna, you're gonna have to help me narrow it down. They like to go hiking. So we could do something like this. Let me get this out of the way. So we have kind of a small group today. Oh, and that doesn't want to stick in there. Maybe nobody wanted to see memory keeping. So I might want to put that on top. And this could go over here. Now if I attach this, I'll put this up on dimensionals, and then I won't attach it here obviously, so that I can slide my photo in there. What do you, Kel did some easy tutorials on her channel. Is that for the quilling or for something else? So should I keep this as a little banner that's got the like the ticket edges, or should I cut these letters apart and make them go wonky? What do you think? For quilling, okay. I don't know why I waited so long to play with this, because I know it's still fall, but fall is almost over. Life is better outdoors. I love that. And then let's get that designer series paper. And find the boots. I thought I had a little piece cut down, but I don't. So we can do the boots and the compass. Too bad there weren't dies for this. That would make my life so much easier. You like the wonky idea, climbing up the mountain or the trail? Cool. That's a viable scrap, I think. And I just have to go through my phone and find some of the pictures that they've shared with me and print them off. I showed my granddaughter the last pages that I did with her pictures on them. And she's going to be 8 in just a few weeks now. End of the month, she'll be 8. And I could tell she just thought it was so cool that there was pages that had her pictures on. Not just scrolling through a phone, but they're going to be in a book. You know, how cool is that? So the other thing then is we have to figure out what to do with these trees. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to fussy cuss this little itty bitty shadow tree out of here. And we'll cut it out of here. And then what I'm going to do is, instead of having it here, I'm going to go like this. And wherever we land this, even if it's at like the bottom of the page, let me move this up a little bit. Even if that's at the bottom of the page, that's going to draw one page over to the next page. Yeah, she loves to craft with me too. So there. Now we don't have these weird corner trees, and that'll kind of meld that together. What do you think of that? Does that look pretty good? So let's start cutting out our boots. Now I'm guessing Juju is going to want me to cut these out so that the steps can be more offset than pairs. Because right now these are in pairs, right? But I'm thinking that I need to make them individual feet. That might take a little bit for me to cut those all out, but I think it would be cuter than just having the feet together. These smaller pieces are hard to fussy cuss though. Because part of it is it's hard to see once it gets into a small piece. See, I think that'll look better than just having 2 clumps of feet. Any rebuttal? Is that agreed that it looks better than having them in pairs? So I wish there had been dies for these. Because there's just the 2 feet. It's not like they're a rabbit, right? That just doesn't look right to me. So we'll do individual steps. It'll be worth it. What fun for us that would be. Yeah, for me to cut each foot individually. Yeah, well, you're in for the long haul, right? It is a little bit easier if I cut them out together initially and then just slice them apart. Some of these designer series papers too, the paper seems slightly different, and I don't know if it comes from different mills, but sometimes it seems to cut easier than others, because sometimes it seems like it's just slightly thinner or thicker. I don't know. Oh, that's a lot of feet. So I don't know how we'll have these kind of wonky on here, or we could have them, I don't know. I can trim those down too, so there's not quite so much up and down. All right, on with some more feet. We're getting there. We'll have to decide. Maybe this will be enough feet, huh? If I do 2 more. I have my coffee and a card this week. I'm going to have to work on all those cards tomorrow. Get them prepped for putting together. And then Sunday I have a small class. So I'll have to get those prepped also. I think I might do the tulip card with them. So is this enough shoes, do you think, or do we need more? And if you say more, I'm going to be suspicious that you're just doing it because you know I love fussy cussing so much. They're not that hard. They're just little. They're tedious. And then we need to decide on are they going to walk across both pages? Yeah, if I spread them out. Right? If we spread them out, we can make them go like this. How's that go? There. I could cut, yeah, I need more. You're right, Stacy. I know. I think I need to get a little bit more Cajun craze in here. Well, hello, Apple. How are you? I don't know. We're going to have to decide if some of this stuff is just making it look too busy or if it fits. Take to the trails and travel on foot. We could put this more like here And then that can go here, and that would kind of go with the feet then. That might be too much going on. What's today's theme? Colorado spruce trees. I suppose if those are Colorado spruce. Today's theme is using up the, let's see what it's called. The Weekend Adventure paper to make a scrapbooking layout. So I don't know, maybe these Cajun craze pieces don't fit. What do you think? Does that add a nice pop of color or not so much? Let's do another set of feet. More boots on the ground. Juju, how many days before your son comes home? Gotta be getting close, like 11, 12? Is he home on the 19th? Somehow that number's sticking in my head. I don't know why. Ten more days. Okay, I was close. The 19th, that would be, because it's now the 9th. Is that right? The 19th? That he comes home? That will be a happy day, I'm sure. See, I can't talk quite as much when I fussy cuss because I really have to concentrate. So he's back on the 18th. All right. It was close. All right. I think we need more pictures here. So if we do, well, we didn't do any of the 4x6s. Maybe I should do a 4x6 over here. And I could tuck that under the corner piece. And we could do this 4x4. How do you think that'll be? 6 pictures? Do you think that's enough? Oh, and then I didn't cut a piece where I'd have a full compass either. It probably would have been better if I tried to do a punch for the compass instead of fussy cussing it, but we'll see how it looks. Yeah, I think a punch is probably going to be better. Too bad there wasn't a sticker. Yep, there wasn't a sticker for the compass. That doesn't look too bad, I guess. Oh, and then we need to find, we could put this up on, we could put that on dimensionals. What else do you think we need? We need some mats. And I really like this sticker that says, "Time is precious, waste it wisely." All right, did we decide, oh, we like the color? We like the Cajun craze in there is just a splash of color. So maybe I should do a couple of mats in Cajun craze. Or I could do a couple of mats in this designer series paper. What do we think? I don't know if this is going to work on here. I think it's going to be too much. And maybe even these pockets will be too much. Of course, if I take this off, I could put a couple of pockets on here. Let's go ahead and cut this down a little bit. I may have to trim that a little straighter, but it'll be close. I'm going to trim this one just a little long, just in case. All right, so the buffalo would be too much. So the buffalo pockets are too much. The background is all the trees. The larger one. This tree, yeah, I don't know where I want to put it because it would really have to go up in dimensionals. And I don't want it just randomly some other place. I don't know. We wouldn't have to use that one. Let's see. Let's do some Cajun craze and just see what it looks like. We can always take it off. It's just paper. So let's see what size I've got here. Buffalo elk would be nice. I don't have any buffalo elk. I have had elk though, and it's really quite tasty. Dark green or a light green? And are you talking about like for the mats? Maybe we could put that over a picture to draw it up toward the top, similar to the sign there, and yes, the mat. So green instead of the Cajun craze. I don't know if these are working. Because this is a darker Cajun craze than what I have here, but I kind of like these stripes. So I can get a green. Let's just see what green is in here. All right. We have you ever done stencil craft? Like with ink blending? Yes. Mossy Meadow and Old Olive. So the Old Olive is the lighter green that's in here. Let's get some Mossy Meadow and see how that looks. Let's see, we need my trimmer. Here we go. So 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. All right, so if we take this out of here, of course we could offset it, we could cluster it. That probably looks kind of still silly. All right, so let's just try the green. No baking for me this week yet. I usually do batches of fudge. Now that looks cool, the cluster. All right, well, let me give it a whirl and just see. Let's see. I don't know, there's nothing else with the cluster. It almost looks like it wants to be an Italian flag. You know? That would be good, or it was a single photo. If it was a single photo, like a single photo there, maybe. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Now, with this tree, I just wonder if we did something like that, only one on a page. Because we could put this over here and then make another one over here with the two colors. Viable, Juju? All right, so here's this piece. All right, well, it's already in your pile. All right. Oh, and I had this out here too, this open weave ribbon that's on the last chance list if it's still there, but I don't know that it's gonna fit in here. And then we had these too. I almost forgot. And I almost forgot about these. And the numbers, the 2024 and 2025, I think what I'm gonna have to do is do those in a different color. Because I'll put them here, but I'll need to do them like in a green or the Cajun Craze maybe. So that I can have each year, pardon my reach, you know, I'll find pictures from both years. So I'll do these numbers in a different color, and I'll probably use adhesive sheets too, because I didn't use adhesive sheets this time around. That was kind of silly of me. Of course, we could do something like this. I think these little clusters could be fun too. I don't think I want to use this tree. I think it just makes it look like I'm trying to use a tree. What do we think of that? Does that kind of work? And I still like this time is precious, waste it wisely, but I think this has a lot going on. So I don't really think I need to do this. I can use this for a different project. I mean, there were a lot of elements that I really wanted to use, like the fussy cussing off of here. I could have used that to do some ink blending. And that just wasn't meant to be. And even this wander, repeat, maybe that doesn't work there either. maybe this should be going like this. Of course, I could put this down here. That might work. That might lay better. I think it kind of works. I think I'll do a few more feet and put them over here, but that doesn't have to be right now. I can cut them out and then show you the finished project tomorrow after I get everything glued. And if I can find some pictures, I think that'll work. It looks balanced, but it's not symmetrical, but it looks balanced. And I may use the embossing folder on those to just give them some texture because they look kind of plain for me. Where are you putting this? This will be in a memory scrapbooking album for my granddaughter and her mom. Sometimes if I do a single 12 by 12, I will frame it and it will become a home decor piece. But this will go in a scrapbook. All right, so I think that's all I've got for you tonight. Now remember, I don't know if I'll put these on here either, these few pieces of wood elements. But I'll have some embellishments, probably these swirled dots or these streak dots. I'll probably put a few of those on here strategically placed. And maybe a few, whoops. Let's push that back kind of where it belongs. I don't know if these wood elements will work on here, so if somebody is interested in these wood elements, add the comment, pick me, and I will put you in a drawing. Yes, we have a lot of snow where I am. We got 11.5 inches of snow last week. We got 4.5 inches Saturday night into Sunday morning. So we have a fair amount of snow. So Juju, with my paper pumpkin kits, when I'm done with the elements, when I've made most of the things, I'll put some of the extra pieces in here. And then I just kind of keep them in order of when my kits were, because these typically are thinner and they don't take a whole lot of room. I have some older ones that I put in the stamp cases, and those had the artwork on there, but they're doing the stamp sets different now, so they don't have the art. I don't think they've got the artwork on there. But I'm also thinking of taking these and changing how I do them, because I need to log these things, because a lot of these paper pumpkin kits have so many nice sentiments, but when I stash them away, I forget the sentiments. So I want to log them somehow, like in an Excel spreadsheet or Airtable or something, so that I can put in a keyword and then find the set, so that I've got them cataloged and I can find them. A lot of people will put them in binders. Some people will just put them in bins by like occasion. So it's a work in progress. This bag is let me move this here. These are from Amazon, and this is 7 by 10. Just about 7 by 10. It's just under 10 inches. And I like they've got a couple of different kinds. I like the ones with the Velcro. There's also one that has like a plastic snap, but I like the Velcro just because it's easier to get in and out of. The snap one, sometimes I just have a hard time getting them either opened or closed. So these are, and they're pretty heavy. You know, they're not as heavy as like the die set cases from Stampin' Up. They're just kind of lightweight, but they're sturdy enough, I think. Okay, so let me just scooch this back over here, line it up kind of. I will get this stuff attached and I will show you the finished project next time. I'll post it on my Facebook page too, and maybe even on my Stampin' Up! Projects page, if I can get my act together and get that updated a little bit more. But I have to really start getting Christmas stuff going too. It's kind of scary. It's creeping up on me, and I've got some stuff done and actually out the door, but I really need to work on cards and team gifts and all of that jazz. Time has gotten away from me for those things. All right, so that's all we've got for tonight. That took us longer than I expected it would. And I didn't even really get distracted much, did I? All right, well, thank you everybody for hanging out with me. I appreciate the company. I appreciate the suggestions and the reminders to not forget things. And once I get this all together, I think it'll look more like it was meant to be. So until next time, happy crafting.